Previously on a very special disc-only podcast. I can't believe we're doing this. And now, our feature presentation. Hey everybody, welcome to the Disc Only Podcast, the podcast that I still don't know why it exists. I am your narcoleptic cosplayer, your narcoleptic streamer, Proton John, and apparently my bit is I'm going to screw up that intro every time I write it down. Who's up next?
My name is Tom Fox, and I found out today there were 2 spiders in my car.
Hi, I'm Stephen George, and I'm supposed to talk after Tom Fox.
And I'm Jerod, and it's my birthday.
It's Jared's
Happy birthday! It's tomorrow, but who cares?
Well, technically tomorrow, whatever. Depends on the time zone, really.
Yay!
That's
Everyone
exciting.
in the chat is just screaming "Happy birth."
Oh
Happy
yeah,
birth.
dude.
Congrats on birth.
That's my favorite thing. I have made it super quick to say happy birthday whenever people are like, "Hey, it's my birthday. Can I get a happy birthday in the chat?" I just like happy birth, and we just keep on moving because it's just so much easier to do.
Are you eventually gonna get to a point where you're just like, Gesundheit, get that checked out.
Can I get a happy birthday?
It just turns into a dry heave. Just.
I love a birthday dry heave. That's what I live for.
Yeah, that's how you know it's been a real party.
Is that you wish me happy birthday? No, I had a heart attack.
It's just herf. Herf? Oh my god, that's a heck of a way to start a podcast right there.
Is it? I still don't know why, but
It really is, though.
why are we here?
Well, I assume that one of the things we're going to be talking about is the multi-part series on John moving houses.
Oh, that's actually what I'm pretty sure this podcast is about.
No,
Slowly
I've talked about that
more.
so many times at this point.
Well, we got cut off at the Gong Show house, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the most interesting house of the 14 or whatever the number was.
Dear God. Oh, before
Peaked
we
at
go
number
any
3,
further,
baby. Peaked at number 3.
we have to absolutely tell the audience about this insane fact that currently, and this is so funny to me, we are at spot 142 on the top comedy podcast on iTunes.
Yeah,
I want to say thank you to everyone who took the time to leave a rating and a review on iTunes, because that helps us out. And I think it would be wonderful if by the time we do the 3rd episode, we are in the top 100 comedy podcasts on iTunes. I just think that it'd be a really good thing to shoot for. And honestly, it seems like it's pretty doable. So if you haven't already,
We hit 142 so easily, or 148. I don't know where we stand.
if you haven't already, go over to iTunes and give us a rating and a review so we can continue this insanity.
That's just nutty, though.
Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or your preferred listening device. That way, if you can't make it to the full thing and you got to drive somewhere, maybe on your way to work or school,
make sure that you're.
Make sure you have to be driving. You have to be driving. You cannot listen to this podcast without driving.
You can't just put it on. It doesn't work that way.
We will allow you to just sit in your car, though.
That's true.
Just sit in your car.
You can, and if you're in the hot summer heat, we will allow the use of the air conditioning, but it has to run from the battery. You can't turn the car on.
Jesus,
We are trying to save the environment, people.
Oh my god.
So someone in chat, it's like, yeah, it's on iTunes, Spotify, and the 3rd one.
I'm gonna be honest. I still don't remember the 3rd one. It's been a month.
Why?
It starts with STs, like Stitcher.
I think it is Stitcher.
Yeah,
it's Stitcher.
Oh my god, I remembered it!
Dan is the one who takes care of all of the behind-the-scenes podcast stuff, and he knows podcasts. And when he mentioned Stitcher, I was like, that sounds like a social media thing for surgeons or something. I've never heard of Stitcher.
DoctorsOnly.com.
About to perform quadruple bypass, YOLO.
It's just the actual entry code. There's no password to enter doctorsonly.com. You actually need to stitch up a wound to actually get in there.
Oh my god.
That seems a little
Like, not an actual wound, like virtually, bro.
No,
Like,
yeah,
you
no,
don't
they're
take,
not.
like a video.
The website's not like, we have shot a man. You need to remove this bullet right now, or he will pass away.
Man, that would be like a really. What if that was how you got onto Facebook? I'd like to sign up for Facebook. Oh, we're gonna put you in a room. We've shot a man, and you have 5 minutes to save his life.
We need a blood sacrifice for you to log in.
I was thinking more of like a virtual thing where you just do like the not surgeon simulator, trauma center stitching on the DS, and then that's how you log in.
Oh no! Scratch up your screen
No,
in the process.
on a virtual one, not on an actual guy.
No. I'm just saying. I've played Trauma Center. That's why I'm like, oh god, I know better. Triangles are attacking me. What's happening?
I'm gonna run a stylus over somebody's wound and hope to God it stitches it up.
I could see it, like, you get the bullet time thing too, where you're like stitching in slow motion. It's just like, yes, this is what I've always needed in order to take care of this.
I think, speaking of that, like one of my favorite, like I don't know if they released it in VR, but Surgeon Simulator 2 is coming out soon, or it came out recently, and I'm excited about that.
Dude, that game really, like, it took VR by storm a little bit.
The VR version is so good. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's meant to be nonsensical, and what's better than nonsensical than you actually using your hands and then like using a heart?
Oh yeah, but here's the thing, like where the original Surgeon Simulator was like nonsensical and really frustrating, the VR one is like nonsensical and like cohesive. Like you can actually do stuff. Like it's a lot easier to do a lot of things than that. Like the heart surgery is like a piece of cake.
Am I remembering correctly that on the version you played with mouse and keyboard that like different fingers were mapped to different keys?
Yes. You only needed the index and the thumb though, but all the fingers were mapped.
Coming to a surgeon office near you, freaking Tom Fox. He'll be he's going to finish off Surgeon Simulator, and then he's going to be taking care of you as well.
Who wants to be operated on by yours truly?
I don't know if I would.
I don't
know if I would.
You can get into your account that way.
Finally, you can join Facebook.
Tom, if Tom says that he only needs his thumb and forefinger to do surgery,
I have all this power in the corner of my pinky.
I feel like there's other fingers that you should be using. You have 10, and you're like, I only need 4.
When I was playing the VR version of Simulator, I was doing one of the brain surgeries, and when in the ambulance level, when you're trying to like cut the brain out, like it's like the thing that you got to cut is like wiggling like all over the place, and like if you get your knife just in the wrong spot, it's automatic game over. So like I was trying to like block it off, like I put my character's hand in there to kind of like stop it from moving. And then I was like, I'm just gonna roll with it. I was streaming this at the time, so I'm like, the power of Christ compels you. And apparently, like, the thing went so wild that it hit a knife, cut out, and like bounced all around the room to where like a bunch of stuff fell off of shelves. So it really was like a demon possession at the time. Wow. I have no idea where the old brain went to this day.
No one knows.
Man, when are we gonna get Exorcism Simulator?
Isn't that just Five Nights at Freddy's?
I just played it in a Surgeon Simulator.
The little girl's head is spinning too fast. What can you do?
I'm sure they definitely. I mean, like, there's got to have like VR horror games that are like an exorcism simulation.
Oh my god, that dude, I can barely play anything in VR. I love Beat Saber, but dude, I would not be able to handle like an actual like horror game in VR. I need to be able to get away from the screen. Like it's attached to my freaking face.
What's the one where it's like the doll that like chases you around and it stops chasing you when you're looking at it?
Is that a SCP?
That sounds like an SCP, yeah.
I think it's like well no, it's a VR game. I think it's called like Emily Wants to Play or something like that. Was that SCP? Emily Wants to Play. Yes, it's that one.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to play.
I think you described an episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah, those sounded like Weeping Angels. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to laugh.
That's essentially what that little doll was.
I have to laugh at Jerod mentioning like trying to get the screen off your head. The first time I used VR, they were showing it off at a PAX, and they were like, "You can walk around this house, and it'll look like you're really walking around." So I sat down and I was checking out things. I was like, "I'm gonna look in the fireplace." So I leaned down to try to look up the fireplace and smashed my head right into a table. Because that's where the computer was. So that was my first VR experience.
This past Thanksgiving, I showed my most of my family was down here in Austin for Thanksgiving, so I showed my my mother and my sister VR for the first time, and I had to constantly remind my mother that the chair behind her wasn't real.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Dude, like VR is trippy as heck, man. Like even just like setting it up for Beat Saber downstairs, it's so weird that it can like, because I have the Quest and it sees like everything around you so that you can mark your area. Like that sounds weird, but like
Not like that, Jerod. Not like that.
Yeah, you outline the area where you're playing, and it's like it's so bizarre because once you outline it, everything disappears and you're in the game, but you're not though. You know, like it's just so weird. Basically, long story short, I have hit way too many things playing VR is what I'm trying to say.
The Vive has something similar to that, where you outline it, but like does the Quest have like an outer camera on it? Is that what you mean when it's like you outline the areas? Yeah, so you can see it as you're outlining it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Vive does something like that, but it doesn't use the outer camera of the VR headset. Because the Vive, you were talking about the Oculus Quest, so it doesn't have sensors that you have to set up.
No, it's all built in. It's actually really good. It's not as powerful, of course, but it works just fine for us.
How's the weight on that?
It feels like you're wearing a very, very heavy hat, but other than that, it's not too bad if you like attach it right. It feels just fine. Yeah.
Because I have the Vive, and I think I can set it up in my current office. Because to those who don't know, I just moved about a month ago, and I think I could set up VR in my current office. But I think where I would set it up is like a little bit too far away from each other in order to do that. So I was thinking of either getting an Oculus where I don't need the sensors, or getting the Index where the sensors are more powerful.
I mean, the Quest has done very well for us. Like we play. There's a boxing game that Erica likes, Beat Saber. It's a little it's a tad bit slow on like the Beat Saber. Like I'm able to pass stuff like from Chameleon and stuff, so it's workable, but it's not as accurate as like the Rift S or anything that is wired in. Because I mean, wired's always better. Right. It's like Wi-Fi to wired internet. It's going to be better being wired. So.
Man, the first time that I ever played VR was at my friend's house, and they, it's room scale, and they did the thing where they have to outline the room, but they have 3 cats, so it's like there's people that have to sit on the couch and like referee the cats, because the cats will just like wander into the zone, and then someone will have to be like, "Hold on, cat," and then move the cat away. It was the only way to actually play the game.
I mean, I have to do that with regular games, not just VR, so...
Yeah.
You also had an issue where your cat was trying to chew wires for a while.
Yeah, well, Bagel destroyed, like, a really expensive controller. Like, he ate a Steel Battalion controller.
Ooh, no.
Yeah.
Of course that's the one that he destroys.
Yep,
like,
of course.
I got a Joy-Con over here, you know? Like, frick.
Bagel probably could have fixed the Joy-Con.
I fixed the drift, Dad.
It brings it to you, just drops it on your lap like a dead rat.
Yeah, exactly.
The cat with the magic touch.
And that's why he has no more teeth.
Just chewing
on. Well, that was why he was chewing things too. It was like he had
his teeth hurt.
Yeah, he had like was it cysts or something like that underneath his teeth. So anytime he bit anything, it hurt. So he wasn't even eating food. So we had to take him to the dentist, and they were like, "Yeah, no, he needs his teeth removed. They're just like deteriorating." So abscess. Thank you. I keep forgetting the word for it. But yeah, no, he had to get 2 dental surgeries to get most of his teeth removed. All he has left are his fangs and the teeth in between.
Oh wow!
You say dentist, and the first thing I think of is Bagel lying back in one of those like dental chairs with like the bib on.
Of course, that is what would come to your mind.
So how is your day today?
No, please don't talk, sir.
Is this real life?
I'm going to ask you all these questions, but don't you dare say a word.
Yes, I did understand that.
Went to the Don and I are planning on going out like down to like the river to like, I don't know, like we'll probably like rent a kayak or like a paddleboard or something, but we wanted to take Ridley along. So we were at the pet store today, picking out a life vest for him, like this big, like bright yellow life vest for him with a handle on the back. So in the event that we got to just like pick him up by the scruff, we could just pick him up by the handle.
You just suitcase him perfectly.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that, but that's a thing.
Yeah.
If your dog wants to get in the water.
I think they're just general pet ones, so I think you probably could, if you somehow could get it on a cat. Then it would work that way too.
No. There's like the amount of cats that like water is so small. Like it's a horrible idea.
Yeah, but it's better. But let's say they do like water. It's better for the cat to have the life vest, right?
Oh, of course.
Good luck getting that sucker on there. Like that's the hard part.
Yeah.
We can't even get Bagel to wear a collar, let alone a life vest.
Also, there are so many steps between like the cat and then getting the cat into the water.
This is
like,
also true.
That's like don't even worry about the life vest. Like there's so many other factors to consider.
Like the car.
There's so much blood.
You can't even get to the car, really.
So the funny thing is, Blue takes a shower every morning.
I'm sorry, what?
At our place. Yeah. Let me explain. So whenever he wakes up, he comes downstairs and he has this meow where it sounds like someone going, oh, like that. And that's his, hey, come and freaking give me attention cry. Right. So Erica will get up and we'll turn on the faucet in the kitchen, just like a light, like, not full blast or anything. And he will just run his head under it and just keep doing it. And then he'll try to catch the water off of him. And it's the funniest looking thing in the world. But he always comes away. He looks like he has a little mohawk because he's just completely drenched every morning. And the rest of his day is just him getting rid of the water. So it's just, he's found something that he loves to do, like right in the morning. So the whole thing about cats not liking water is true 99.9% of the time, but
get that cat a life vest.
Yeah,
exactly. Don't have him drown in the sink. It'd be real bad.
No, he's fine. Trust me.
So is he just trying to drink the water, but he does so in the strangest way?
So he doesn't try to drink the water. Every now and then, like whenever he's done, he gets thirsty because he's like tired, right? Because he's been playing with the water. But what he does is he has it he puts his head under it first of all, and then he's just swiping at it, just like just going at every single drop that falls off of his head. So it's stimulating for him. And then after he's done, he'll usually take a drink and then ironically go and steal food from Ladybug's bowl and drink water from her bowl instead, because of course it tastes better being somebody else's, because if you're a cat, everything tastes better than your own food, I guess. But yeah, no, he's a good boy, but very, very special.
Man. See, like the closest we can get Bagel to water is he will jump in the bathtub and lie down in it and groom himself. But if there's any water in there, he's gone. He will never be near it.
Huh.
So he likes the concept of showers. He just doesn't like the actual shower.
How much is Bagel a look before you leap kind of cat?
He has one eye, so he's already kind of limited in that aspect.
So let's say you were to fill up the tub a little bit before he jumped in there. Would he jump in, realize his mistake, and then jump out? Or would he jump up, see the water, and then leave?
All right, now here's what happened. This is an actual story that happened in the townhouse. I had a shower. And his litter box is in the room, in that bathroom, so he normally comes in. So we leave the door open a bit. So I'm standing in the tub. I've just turned off the shower. I'm drying myself off in the tub. And Bagel's like, meow, meow, meow. He wants in. So I move the curtain back a bit so he can see in. And then he jumps directly in the bathtub, realizes it's wet, climbs my leg, which is naked, by the way, and then uses that to propel himself back out of the room and down the stairs to go complain to Reese. So now I'm screaming in the shower because my leg is bleeding because the cat is panicked. And then Reese is like, what happened? I'm like, the cat tried to shower. I heard.
Cat was bad at showering.
Cat doesn't know how to shower.
Oh my God. Well, and another funny thing, whenever we first got Blue, he would actually join us, or join me in the shower, like not completely under like the water or anything, but he would get as close as he possibly could to it, just to kind of like tempt fate. And let me tell you, there's nothing funnier than whenever he freaks out because of the fact that water finally hits him and he just takes off like completely. But yeah, he's a good boy.
Seems he's grown much more used to that with the fact that he's running his head under the faucet.
Oh yeah, no, he's like training for the next time the shower is open.
Kepler does a very. I was gonna say Kepler does a very similar thing. Whenever I'm taking a shower, he'll come in and he'll stand. It's one of those like big glass doors, and he'll just stand and look into the shower. And sometimes I'll crack the door, be like, "Do you want to see what this is like?" And he'll get right up to it, and like within the span of like 6 inches from him standing there to getting up to it, like his pupils dilate 6 full inches, like coming out of his skull. And then as he's getting close to it, he sniffs, and then like he just slowly backs away and walks out of the room like, "Nah, I'm good." We do this like once a month. It's great.
I saw some theory where cats apparently think like when you're in the shower that you're in trouble. So that's why they kind of like get brazen and try to like get in and save you. And then they was like, "Nope, I'm good. I can't do this."
I was gonna say, like, that reminds me like those videos I've seen where it's like the cat's like meowing at somebody who's in like the bathtub, and then they like try to grab the person's hand and drag them out of the water.
Yeah, exactly that. They think they're drowning. And I was gonna say earlier too, Tom, you must feel a little weird because you're the one outnumbered here. 3 of us have cats, and you've been a dog person as long as I've known you.
Yep. I've had dogs since I was 10, mostly Shar-Peis.
But you're also allergic to cats, which also makes sense then at that point.
Yes, it does not stop the allergies do not stop my urge to pet cats though.
As I remember from when you came down for TRG recordings.
Oh yeah,
and the fiasco that happened from that. Did we talk about that on Overcooked? I think we joked about that on Overcooked.
What happened?
Where
I don't exactly remember.
You were taking a new allergy medicine, and you also had bought some alcohol to have to relax.
Oh yeah.
And then you almost died. That part.
And I realized I couldn't have them both at the same time. That's right.
I like how Tom was uncertain of what the story was.
Tom just does not remember the time he almost died.
It had to do with my mortality. Yes.
Oh yes, my mortality. That's right.
Maybe okay. Dan's even saying like he hasn't gotten to that part in editing Overcooked, so I'm guessing maybe we did not talk about it. But like at one point, like we're downstairs after recording, just like playing games or something, and then Tom's like, "John, can you check my pulse for a second?"
Oh my god!
Because I had
John, am I dead?
I had like my heart rate was higher. Like it was weird, but I don't think it was everything. I thought I was dying. I don't think I was actually dying.
No, but you were like, what's a normal pulse rate or something like that too? And I'm just like, not what you have.
Oh my god, man.
Now it is possible to be allergic to cats and still own a cat. I mean, it depends on the severity of your allergy. But Mallory is allergic to cats.
Yeah, Reese is allergic too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I've had cat allergies for a while because when I first discovered it was at my cousin's house. And like I broke out in hives like from this cat. And I had never like had any issues with it before, and I haven't had hives from a cat since. So it's like, weird. It's interesting. I'm allergic to hypoallergenic cats.
That's ironic.
Yeah, it's my buddies in college had a pair of hypoallergenic cats. I only remember one was named Spock, but like the name's beside the point. It made me like sniffly and my eyes and all that jazz. Cute cats though.
Is it worth the pain?
Yeah, I think so.
most cats are, I would say.
I was talking about a while back. I was thinking about like getting a Sphinx cat, one of the hairless ones.
Oh,
yeah. Those things are like an acquired taste. At first glance, they're like, "Oh, that's gross. It's hairless." But then like you come around to it.
Yeah, you can get them little sweaters and stuff too. They're super adorable.
And also they look like raw chicken.
There are a lot of.
That was not what I was expecting you to say.
Tom bases his pets on that.
Because you do have to bathe them, I think, once a week because their skin doesn't generate the right oils or something.
Yeah, a little bit extra work, but totally worth.
Yeah.
Oh,
some other short hair cats that are the same way.
Yeah. Speaking of freaking allergies, I learned about a week and a half ago that I have developed an allergy to apples. which is kind of strange.
Apples?
Very specific.
So I saw an ad for these 1 a day like natural like multivitamins, right? And they're supposed to be made like all natural with like apple bits and whatnot. So it got me. I was like, oh frick, I really want some. I want to go eat some apples, right? So I went and got them, and for like a week, I was feeling like garbage, dude. I thought I was gonna like die. There was actually some days where I didn't want to stream because I felt so bad, but I powered through and everything. And I was bloated and I felt freaking horrible. And after I was done, after that week, a week passed and I was just fine. And then we went to the grocery store, picked up some more apples the other day. I had one and I felt like garbage again. So I'm pretty certain, and this is with, I'm pretty certain that, and I tested it the other day. Whenever I went to, I tried and took another bite of an apple again, and I kind of left it in my mouth for a little bit. My lips swelled up. Like, what the frick?
Whoa.
And yeah, so apparently I have developed this over time somehow, but I can eat pears. I can eat just about every other fruit except for apples, and it sucks because I freaking love apples.
Do you know if it's just raw apples? Like maybe if you cook apples, they would be different.
I don't know, because like I got the multivitamins, right? Like I tried the multivitamins, the ones that were all natural. They're basically just apple. They're made with apples, basically apples. And I was taking those, and those made me sick as well. But I tried just the apple without that. Now I'm using a different multivitamin and everything, and I'm still freaking allergic to it, I think. I'm just like, it makes me ultra sick, which is ironic because I eat at Moe's every day. You would think that me eating at Moe's a lot would make me sick, but no, I'm just fine with that. I could drink a gallon of sweet tea. It's fine. Oh, no, I eat an apple and I'm freaking dead for like a week and a half. I don't understand my body, dude. Like, what in the world?
I hope you're prepared to. I don't know what kind of phone you have, but you're probably going to need an Android after this.
Shut up!
Yeah.
Really? It just works.
I mean, you can develop allergies at any time in your life. It's insane.
Sometimes allergies just go away for no reason too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. A friend of mine got in the habit of eating a lot of eggs, and then developed an egg allergy and was like, well, can't eat these now. And I'm like, that sucks. Sorry.
It was crazy.
I found out, I think it was last year or something like that I was allergic, or I couldn't eat milk anymore because it was making me sick all the time. So I wasn't sure if I just became lactose intolerant or what. And then I tested the waters, so to speak, with I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have I made like a yogurt now and see, and then my body would be like act weird, and then I gave up all dairy, and I was like, oh, I feel great. And then I realized like, oh shoot, I need I want to at least try yogurt again. And I try little things and my body would be fine. So I don't know what's going on. I think it might just be IBS versus lactose intolerance, but either way, it's just, I felt better not having milk in my diet. And then suddenly I was like, all right, now I feel worse.
I remember picking you up from the airport for TRG Coliseum and then go into that drive-through and getting cheese quesadilla. Like, you didn't want cheese on the quesadillas or something, but then they came like that anyway because that's just how it works. And then you're like, I'll eat them. And you're like, I'm probably gonna be sick, but I'll eat them. And I was like, are you sure? And you're like, mm-hmm.
I was very hungry
you were
at that point.
fine.
I don't even think it was a quesadilla. I think it was just a hot dog. I think they just put cheese on it or something. Or am I confusing that with Steak and Shake story again?
You have a lot of bad history with
I'm learning.
You didn't ask for.
Yes. Why do they just keep putting things on food I don't want?
Specifically when you're with Steven.
Yes. Remember when we went to Waffle House during a TRG recording session, and the waitress kept trying to push hash browns on me?
Dude, that woman was a pusher. It was wild. I ain't seen nobody in my doggone life that wanted to give somebody hash browns as much as that woman wanted to give you hash browns. That was wild.
Yeah. So we went to Waffle House, and I'm like, okay, I just want a pancake. I'm just in the mood for pancakes. I love pancakes. And so the lady comes up, and she's like, what do you want? I'm like, I just want pancakes. Like, oh, well, you can get pancakes with hash browns. Like, no, I'm good. I don't want hash browns.
Hash brown?
And then she's like, oh, are you sure? Like it's free. I'm like, no, I really don't want hash browns. So she's like, okay. She does the rest of the order. She comes back, are you sure you really don't want those hash browns? Like, I'm sure, yes. So she goes and takes the order. She comes back. She's like, I'm going to give you one last chance for those hash browns. She
was so
asked
funny.
at least like 4 or 5 times. It was mind-boggling. I'm just like, are you used to people not saying no? Like, have you ever heard anyone say no to you? I'm confused. So eventually, I just caved.
They were free.
Because Steven was like, you know, man, I'll just eat the hash browns if you don't want them. Like at that point, and I'm just like, fine, just give them to me, because I don't like hash browns. And she's like, you know, you'll love them. And Steven's like, this is the best hash browns I've ever had in any place. You need to have them. Had a bite, immediately did not like them because I don't like hash browns, and had to give it to Steven.
Listen, John, you failed at the very basis of the Waffle House hierarchy in the first place. You're supposed to put things on the hash browns. You don't get the hash browns plain. And you didn't want to do it. You said,
because I don't like hash browns.
Hash browns were free, Jonathan. You could have just taken hash browns.
I don't want to have hash browns pushed on me like this.
Also, they don't serve pancakes at the Waffle House. It was a waffle.
Okay, fine. Are you wait? Actually,
I'm sorry. No, for real. I've eaten at Waffle House like a few times.
The last time I was at a Waffle House, I thought I was going to get stabbed. I'm not kidding.
Last time I went to Waffle House was with all y'all.
Last time I went to Waffle House, I fell asleep in it. So yeah.
The thing is like Waffle House and Denny's is always there for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh god, yeah, Denny's is awesome.
like Denny's is always there for you. Like no matter what. There's a Denny's off of the interstate in Jacksonville, Florida, where you go to the Jacksonville airport. It's like right there. And right before I get on a plane, I'll usually eat that Denny's, and right after I get off a plane going like TwitchCon or something, I'm usually freaking starving, and I'm like, oh man, that Denny's is there. Oh frick, you know, because like I have to drive back up to South Carolina, but that Denny's is always there, right off the daggone turnpike, man. Oh, it's so good. That place is so good, dude. Frick.
Yeah.
Go eat at that Denny's.
Denny's is always there for you when you try to order something from IHOP and right before you hit the deliver button, they're like, "Oh, sorry, we're closed." That's what Denny's is there for you, IHOP.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. Yeah, that was kind of an important thing to kind of gloss over about me getting almost stabbed at a Waffle House. So
You wanted to go to Denny's.
You don't tell IHOP people or Waffle House people that you want to go to Denny's. That's like a code word.
okay, so it had nothing, like we didn't do anything. Me and Holmick were hanging out, and we had just gotten done watching, I can't remember what movie it was, about a town over, because we don't have a movie theater in our hometown. So we go to freaking Waffle House. I'm like, man, I don't really want to go to Waffle House. I just want to go home. And he's like, dude, I'm hungry. I'm like, all right, fine. So we go, and we're sitting over there, and there are a couple of I think they were Marines actually. They were sitting over there, and they were drunk. Why are they drunk at a Waffle House? I don't freaking know. But they were drunk as heck, and they were just angry. I've never seen like a more angry drunk. And the Waffle House manager went over to, because they were harassing a waitress, and he went over and brandished a knife that was on his side. The manager of the Waffle House. Yeah, I'm not kidding. And I'm watching this. I'm like, freaking Holmick, we need to go home. We need to leave because somebody's gonna get hurt. And so apparently the manager comes over. He kicks those 3 guys out because they were just being the worst, right? He brandishes the knife and is like, you need to get the frick out of my store. And he comes over and he's like, I'm sorry y'all had to see that, but like we don't allow for people doing that in here. And I'm like, that's fine, but we're gonna stick around until those guys leave the parking lot because we don't want them to take out their anger on us because you kicked them out. So yeah, long story short, we did not eat at that Waffle House ever again. and Denny's is where we normally go now. Like no joke.
I don't know. I feel like that would have been like the safest Waffle House to go to, because like the manager's gonna just like go commando and beat up someone.
No, you're right. But I try to stick away from situations that can escalate.
You don't hang around like crazy war vets. Like no.
I mean, they went to Waffle House with the wrong mindset. You don't go to Waffle House when you're angry. You go to Waffle House when you got nothing left to lose.
Yeah, basically.
All around me are familiar faces.
Oh my god! But you could tell. Like I have no problems with Marines. I have all the respect in the world for them. But you could tell that they were brand new. Yeah, there were brand new cadets or recruits. You can kind of tell in this area. And it's just like, man, they were acting up. And I can only imagine, because apparently the manager, was, and that's why he carried a knife, is because he was a Marine too. So I know for a fact that he ended up getting in touch with those guys' commanding officers later on. And I can only imagine the hell that they went through, because that's the best way of getting like something through to a Marine, is talking to their commanding officer.
After I might be putting a little bit too much stock in Waffle House's like customer service here, but like after this podcast goes out, you're gonna get like a tweet from their like corporate being like, which Waffle House was that?
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, I ain't never been in a Waffle House that I didn't feel, I mean, maybe a little weirded out, but always safe. And it was in fact a Denny's that someone got stabbed in that I was in. And they actually got stabbed.
Look, we are an equal opportunity podcast. Like we will we'll say both.
We'll hate everyone. Hooray!
You'll be stabbed in a variety of breakfast places on this podcast.
Dude, but you know what? Let's all just agree here. Ain't none of us ever been stabbed in a Perkins. Nobody gets stabbed in a Perkins.
What's a Perkins?
Jerod, you got my back here? You know.
Yes, I do. So I've been to one Perkins, and it was in upstate South Carolina.
Somebody got stabbed.
No.
Shot, Tom.
See, now look here. Like, wait, somebody got shot in the Perkins?
No, well, not around here. God. Anyway, don't just keep going.
Anyways, I feel like the shooting is the escalation of stabbing. I feel like that kind of hierarchies it a little bit higher on the list there.
Yeah. Anyways, all I'm trying to say is Perkins is freaking amazing. Like, that is probably one of the best breakfast restaurants that you'll ever eat at, is like a good Perkins. And
the thing is, what you can do, you can go in there and you can have your meal, and then you can get something from the bakery.
And then you don't get stabbed either.
Yeah. And you don't get stabbed.
Dude, oh my God, man.
Let me ask you something then. Is there a Perkins in or around Myrtle Beach?
No.
I think
not anymore.
Is there not a Bob Evans over there too? Which is another really good restaurant, by the way. I've only eaten one
had one for a long time. I think we still have one.
Wait, we do have a Perkins in Calgary? What is this place?
Place where you can eat without getting stabbed, John. That's where you should go.
Oh no, I have eaten here once. It's by the truck stop. Oh yeah.
So someone may get stabbed there then. If truck stop.
Jesus,
man, I ain't never met the kindest people, but truckers. Truckers are some of the nicest folk you'll ever met.
Absolutely,
they are super intimidating, but they're some of the nicest people you ever met.
Look, I'm not saying it's the truckers that are the issue here. It's the truck stop that's the issue.
Now, are there sketchy things that take place at the truck stop? It's possible. Is it safer than a Waffle House that Jerod was at? Probably.
I think anything is safer.
Again, the manager was the one with the knife, so I think it's a pretty safe Waffle House.
See that, and that's the thing. I was like, I think back to those moments, and I'm just like, that was actually a pretty decent situation. But at the same time, at the time, I was just like, frick this! I don't want to be anywhere near this. Like, this is just a bad time. But,
I don't know, man. There's a lot of crime. Like, I grew up seeing a lot of like different crime and stuff in Myrtle Beach, and it was really normal for me, but it was really weird for Mao. So like when Mao would come to visit, like we'd be like going down the strip or whatever, and I would be telling her about all of the crimes that took place in the various business. I'd be like, now that one, that Burger King, a guy was killed and he was kept in the freezer. And then down here, someone got killed inside, and then a few years later, outside in the parking lot of this McDonald's. And Mallory's like, Jesus! And I'm like, I don't know. It's just, you get used to it.
I was gonna say, was she concerned about the fact that there was all that crime there, or was she concerned about the fact that you knew all about all that crime there? Like you had an encyclopedic knowledge of it.
You know, like we went in and got like Dunkin' Donuts, and we get back out in the car, and she's like, did anything happen in that Dunkin' Donuts? And I'm like, no, honey. Someone did get shot in the parking lot of this Dunkin' Donuts, but not inside the Dunkin' Donuts. It was a completely different thing.
The building's
also
safe.
like,
I can kind of like draw parallels between like where Mal came from and where like Steven came from here, because where I lived in Connecticut was kind of like where Mal came from in terms of like the crime rate. And then like a few towns over in New Haven, Connecticut was like where everything went wrong. So that was closer to where I lived.
Let me tell you something. That'll make you feel nuts. Going to stay with your girlfriend and wondering why they're not locking the doors. You want to talk about like not be able to sleep? I went to stay with Mao, and everyone's turning in for the night. The first night I'm there, and they have the windows open. And I look at Mao, and I'm like, should I close this window? And she's like, no.
Yep.
And I'm like, why?
That's exactly what it was like where I lived in Connecticut as well.
Oh my God. Like I was sleeping in the basement, and I'm like having like a panic attack. I'm like, we have to lock the doors. What are you doing?
Someone in the chat brings up the "but door is locked" meme.
People have broken into like whenever I was growing up living with my parents, people have broken into the house while we were there asleep. It has happened. So like to go from that to the windows are open. I'm like, but you can't do that. That's illegal.
Like bringing Erica down from Canada, or whenever I went and visited her, like I just being in Southern America, you lock your doors. It's just something that you do. And she had like all the doors unlocked, the freaking windows open. This is in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and I'm just sitting here like I get there, and I remember that night I asked her, I'm like, "Are you insane?" Like I was losing my mind, because that is just something that you don't do around this area. And she's just like, what? Because you don't really have to do that. She was living in like an even like kind of an iffy part of that area, but like the iffy part of Canada is like the god tier parts of like America. You know what I'm saying? In most cases.
This is why I find this story so funny.
Yeah.
This is why I find this story so funny, because where I grew up is like the epitome of that. I grew up in like a small town in Newfoundland, and it was like if you were walking around late at night and you saw someone's pet outside, you walked over to the house, opened the door, let the pet in, and then walked away, and they would probably be thanked the next day. Like there was no thought about it.
Dude, the paradigm shift from north to south, or America to Canada, is absolutely insane, dude. Like it's so weird.
That's kind of just like what small town living is like, though, too.
Yeah, true.
Like everyone knows everyone. Like there's like this one place, is either the church or like a community center where everyone just kind of hangs out. Like you have a weird rivalry with another town down the road, even though there's no real reason to have that rivalry, stuff like that.
Just need some excitement.
And it's like any like sort of like issues you have with another person in the town are either there's only two ways it can go: very minor or like blood feud escalation. There's no like in between for that kind of thing in a small town.
You always knew the person that was considered the troublemaker, and they always went like 2 towns over to start a fight with someone else about something stupid. It could be as small as like leaving a bonfire lit, or as big as like you crashed into their car. It would not matter. It was just so stupid.
Reese is in the chat saying, if John ever forgets to lock the doors, I lose my mind, even though it's Canada.
Yeah, no, I forgot to lock the garage door, which has the giant garage door in front of it. So just the door to the garage. And she's like, you left it unlocked. Why did you do that?
Man, it just to show you how like moving and changing your living environment can change someone. Mallory grew up in this environment where like locked doors, LOL, why? And now she's lived, in the South with me for a decade plus or whatever. And now when we go to bed at night, she's the one that's like, did we lock the doors? And I'm like, yeah, we locked the door. She's like, I will check them again. And I'm like, man, you've changed, but also, it's just where you live.
By the way, just wanna gauge the chat here. How well have you cased our security if you ever wanted to break in.
Please don't break into our house. I have a sword. I don't know where it is, but oh no, there it is.
If you break into my house, I will politely ask you to stay there while I find the sword.
You also have those nunchucks that you have fun
Donatello
with.
nunchuck, the plastic nunchuck.
Michelangelo,
Yeah.
thank you very
I'm
much.
sorry, Michelangelo. Sorry.
God, you called yourself a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan.
Well, Donatello's my favorite, so that's the default for me.
Donatello, famous nunchuck user.
Yep. What did they? Apparently, in the UK version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, they changed Michelangelo's nunchucks because they deemed them too violent.
Nunchucks were outlawed there. Nunchucks are actually outlawed in a bunch of places. Like, you technically can't buy an actual pair of nunchucks in Canada, but you can get practice ones.
Huh. So like, but like, I'm trying to think that they replaced it with like grappling hooks, though, right?
Something like that. I forget exactly what they swapped it to. But like that, to be fair, in the UK they were called the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles because Ninja was considered too violent.
Ninja was considered too violent. Yeah.
Man, it's so crazy, isn't it? Like, just how much of a difference there is between different cultures. Like, oh man, it's nutty. Also, this poll. For those listening, there was a poll in the chat that says, "Whose house are you going to break into?" And John's winning at 50%.
Jerod, you and I are safe.
Yes.
The best part is they saw me vote for Jared's house. They saw me do that. Dan is admitting he voted for me as well.
Yeah, I voted for John, so I'm not gonna lie
I
to you.
didn't vote. I don't want to. I want to be invited over to your guys' places.
I mean, you're all
I'm gonna
welcome to
go
come
out on a
over
limb.
in the after times, but yeah.
Yes, in the after times.
I'm going to assume that folks that are watching are into video games and are like, well, John's got a lot of video games. That's probably where I should be.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they don't
you
wanna go to
see
your
them whenever I'm
house
on
because-
cam. They're everywhere on cam. So.
And John's Canadian, so he's too polite to cut me with the sword.
So I want y'all to know that we went from talking about cats to allergies to stabbings, now B&Es, just so you know. Just so if anybody's lost track of what we've been talking about.
Just in
yeah,
case.
like Steven, you're talking about me being too polite. Don't forget, my wife's American. She's got like
brandishing the sword.
yeah, she'll have the sword. She'll have all the guns. She'll be ready. I saw people in the chat saying like we're gonna come and steal your pinball table. Like, good luck lifting that thing out of here. By all, you know what? If I invited you over and you carried that thing out of here by yourself with that like a trolley or something, I'd be impressed. I'd still call the cops on you, but I'd be impressed.
I'm not mad. I'm
Here's
impressed.
Give him
the
a
thing,
head start.
if it came to like using like a video game collection as a weapon, no one's gonna want to go near Steven's house because he'll just pelt them with 60 plus copies of Deal or No Deal for the Nintendo DS.
My
He's
God.
learned to
They're
throw them like
frickin'
shurikens.
Same wavelength. I would just bury someone alive under the Wii games right now because we're up to 1,000 plus.
Oh my God!
I think I could kill them if they were
The weight
they
of all
fell
the Wii
under
games.
it.
It's
You know, like one day you're gonna move from that house and you'll have a box that's Wii games 1 out of like 30.
Yeah, I'm acutely aware. Every once in a while, like Mal does this very specific video game related sigh. I can tell the difference. And I hear it and she just kind of looks at me and I'm like, yeah, I know. And then we both say nothing and go on with our lives.
Is the only difference between that sigh and a regular sigh is that you're hearing the sigh reflected off of the video game collection because that's where she's facing.
It's the sound of a sigh reflecting off of a white plastic case.
I was gonna say, your wife has that sigh too, because mine definitely does as well. Hers is more of like a kind of like a higher pitch one, specifically when it's something involved in video games. And I know she's in the chat. She's gonna feel there you go, Lamau. Wow, she knows. She knows.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where we've talked extensively about this, and I'm like, now listen, we're not gonna go past Wii U. We're stopping there. I promise. Like we're finishing Wii. We're gonna work on finishing Wii U, and then we're never moving forward in time. We're only picking up stuff from the past.
I mean, like the issue that I have as well about going past Wii U is just like all the limited run stuff and like, like there's so many games that are just gonna be like ported. There's a lot more games to the Switch, I think, even now than there were for the Wii were for the Wii U.
If you could, because the Switch right now has like a renaissance of sorts because of like limited run and
There's multiple
Super
companies.
Rare and all those. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're both great and frustrating from a collector because it's like I'll use this as an example. Streets of Rage 4, Limited Run Games did a run of that game, and I ordered that, and it's still not here. The game's been out for like 2 months at this point. It's still not been shipped.
Jesus,
Man, dude, y'all are you three are so much bigger collectors than I am. Like I am.
You should
not
be
a
proud of
collector
that. You should be
anything.
proud of the fact that you're not in collecting. That means you don't have a vice.
Yeah. So my thing is more so like me and Erica like to like have experiences like going places, but I also like my likes are like my games are exceedingly expensive, like the DDR machine, right? Because I got a Stepmania X machine, which I'm in a lot better shape than I was about a month and a half ago. But it's just like that's my thing. I make one big purchase and that is it, right? But man, like I couldn't even imagine like collecting hundreds upon hundreds of different games. Like I just can't do that. Like I stick with one for a long time, and that's about all I can do.
I mean, the only reason I went so hard on it, like aside from like I set myself up to be in this situation basically. Like one of my first jobs was working at a video game store.
Yeah.
That was like what set me down to getting multiple systems and multiple games, and then it was just like it became my specialty. So and then I started doing different games. So I started LPing, and then when I started streaming, the whole point was like, all right, I can play. I have so much variety. I might as well just offer them all as options, and then it just became getting more and more games to offer more and more options, and that's pretty much like my job set me down that path essentially.
It's like for me, it's super impressive. Like y'all's collections are insane, and like it's just it always blows my mind with like how knowledgeable and stuff like that you guys are, because like I would say that even in my gaming tastes I'm exceedingly specified. Like I'll play like one game, I will play it for like 150 hours, but I will only play that one game for a long time. Like I get really focused on it. Like right now I'm playing Origami King, which I'm loving. Before that it was Enter the Gungeon, which I speedran. So it's like I'm very specific, but I like, and that's why I think I like your cast so much, John, is like the fortune cookie thing is freaking brilliant, because you just have so much variety. You were like the ultimate variety streamer, like legit.
But then, like, the problem with having so much variety is you either are like, all right, here's like some great games you never heard of, or like, here's 30 Barbie games.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, like was it Cookie on Saturday? Yeah, that was the last stream we did. We ended with a Barbie game, and then we just sat down and beat a Barbie game on stream because we were like, it's only about 40 minutes long. We might as well do it.
I saw it as like what you were playing before was Barbie as the Island Princess, which when I saw that, I initially thought it said Barbie as the Battle Princess.
I'm surprised you didn't think it was Barbie as the Island.
Just for like a scale of people who haven't heard this little factoid before, Emil Conrad collects Pokemon cards, and John has more unique video games than Emil has unique Pokemon cards.
Holy cow!
Yeah, and he's collecting from like Gen 1 to current. So
I used to collect Pokemon cards, man. I still have a binder that has like a couple of first editions.
Oh
but
yeah,
I don't do anything with them.
Like I still have my binder of like that had like the base set, like the jungle set and the fossil set, and like maybe a couple of like Gen 2 cards.
Dude, I had I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, actually, Emil has all of my Pokemon cards because I collected very, very heavily from base set until fossil or
probably fossil. If it didn't
base set 2, maybe
when it got into Gen 2, you think?
So maybe a little into that, but mostly those first 3 sets, base set, jungle, and fossil. And I held on to, you know how the decks came in the little boxes? I kept all of that stuff mint. And then now Emil has all of that, so he has even more stuff to his collection.
God, Emil makes me want to play the Pokemon trading card Game Boy game. That was fun.
I missed that game, dude.
Get the sequel. It's got a translation patch.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
So there was a second game for the Game Boy Color, a Pokemon trading card game 2, but it never came out over here. But people have done a translation patch for years, so like it's fully playable.
Oh,
nice.
That's going to be my next project. Oh my god, I didn't even know that.
Might be close.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of Pokemon cards, for a long time I don't have it anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but in that same binder, I had my Pokemon Snap card that they gave you at Blockbuster.
Oh,
because
wow.
because I went and did that because I have the coolest dad in the world. So he would take me to Blockbuster and like get me a game, like every now and then. And they had the Pokemon Snap thing there. So I had the card for the longest time. I have no idea where it went, but that, and also if y'all remember the 24-karat plated Mewtwo thing, or the ancient Mew.
Oh no, that was, I thought that was just a standard card, and then they had like another movie tying with Burger King where those were the plated cards.
Yes, I had one of the plated cards from Burger King, and
oh my god, I had a full set.
oh yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sitting
Charizard.
here being like, man, it must be nice having Blockbuster Video and Burger King near you growing up.
Oh man.
There, as far as I'm aware,
Also-
there was no Blockbuster in Newfoundland at all.
As far as John's concerned, he's so far out of the United States, it might as well be a Hungry Jack.
What?
That's what they call Burger King in the UK.
Oh,
See, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
I got you.
Royale
it
with
was
cheese.
stupid, but I
Royale
got
with
you.
cheese.
A Royale with cheese. Oh, wouldn't that be a McDonald's?
That was McDonald's, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, man, you
Oh,
got
Australia.
tennis,
Sorry,
though,
it's
too.
There you go. Chat
Hungry
calling you
Jack
out
in
on that one.
Australia.
Chat calling you out on that one.
Well, it was some other English speaking country.
Oh
Ah, yes, because there's a
God.
shortage of those.
So, like Jerod was saying about that Pokemon Snap card, I still have mine. And our local game store has been trying for years to get a Pokemon Snap machine. They want to have one in the store so people can print their stuff like they did a million years ago.
Apparently they're not that hard to
roommate found
find.
one for sale for like $800 in Houston. We were planning on making a road trip down there to pick it up.
That's just a piece of history right there, man. Like, my God. Video game history, that is, but
Yeah.
man, daggone.
There was one at MagFest this past year.
Yeah.
Really?
Like
How did I miss
they're
that?
weirdly not that hard to find for something that gigantic and so like such a weird idea to find, so like rare concept.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, go figure. I did not see that. I did, however, see the Dedicab for Stepmania X, and that sealed my fate. Like, I tried it at Mag, and I was like, I have to have one of these at my house, dude. It's, oh God, it's good.
See, we just got a we don't have it currently in our possession, but we bought a Cobalt Flux pad.
Oh, dude,
Nice.
Where the frick did you find it? Because I that was going to be the thing that I bought if I didn't get like a full Dedicab. Like, where did you get that?
I say we as if I do anything and Mallory doesn't do it. Mallory's the one that does everything in our lives. She was the one that was like on the Facebook groups, like looking for like months to see if someone was going to sell one, and finally someone did. And actually, it wasn't anywhere near us. And our buddy Thomas, who lives in Florida, actually drove to pick it up. And then the pandemic happened. So it's been in Florida for months.
Oh, man. Dude, those Cobalt Flux pads are literal gold. Like, they were before you can, like, because Kyle Ward, the creator of Stepmania X and a lot of the music from the games, he's the only one that is creating, like, other than, like, Andamiro, new machines. And the Stepmania X machine is his latest project, and they sell out. I think that the last run of 800 machines sold out in 47 seconds.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it is
following this for a
ridiculous.
long time because we wanted to play DDR at home,
Mhm.
and like there are no options. There are basically no options, and we've
No.
seen like the pictures of their Stepmania X cabinets like in the warehouse,
Mhm.
and it's like, look, we got all these cabinets, but then they go to sell them, and they're like, well, they're gone.
Yeah. So yeah, like legit. I ended up talking to Kyle Ward because that man is very good at customer service. I had a problem with the pad, and he called me personally to help me out with it.
Nice.
And yeah, I was very blown away by that because like it was funny because I looked down at my phone because I had sent him an email and it says maybe Kyle Ward because it got the it was like the Apple thing where it picks up.
Oh
the
yeah,
phone
where
number
it
from the
picks.
email.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like maybe Kyle Ward, and I'm like, hello, and he's like, hi, this is Kyle Ward. I'm like, what the frick is happening right now? So because I've been a fan of his for a while, but that's actually why we got the dedicated cabinet was because of the fact that the mini cabinet sold out like that as well. Right now, the only one that is on sale is the dedicated master cab, which is the biggest one that they offer. They don't have the pads anymore right now, sadly. But if you can get your hands on a 5 or Gen 5 cabinet, or not cabinet, but the pads, It is so freaking worth it, dude. Oh my god, keep watching on them because it's worth every penny.
Yeah. At this point, we have the one Cobalt Flux pad, and someday it'll get up here. And then we'll be able to actually use and enjoy it, and then maybe we'll get like a second pad or something like that in the future.
Yeah, it's so freaking worth it though, man. Like that, man. Having a DDR machine was a like a goal of mine since I was like a teenager, like 14, 15. I was like, I've always wanted to own one because I had one of the DDR game master pads, which is like it was like a $300 one. It was all right. I was able to get some fun out of it, but dude, like, nothing beats like an original dedicated cabinet. My God.
I just find it so crazy that like the aftermarket or like the home market is still making all these machines now. Like I have a pinball table, and it's crazy that they're still making pinball tables considering most arcades are kind of relegated to like being barcades or like they barely exist in the long run. What was it? The Enter the Gungeon devs made their own light gun arcade machine last year.
I know, it's so good. Oh my God. I want to play that so bad.
And I think they sold them all too. Like they said like, yeah, we're making like, was it 200 or something like that? And I think they all sold.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was through Devolver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dude, oh my God, I want that game so bad. Like, I want to just give it a try. I really hope that somebody brings it to a mag or like Momo or something like that.
Oh wait, no, did they not ship yet? Or no, they shipped this year because I went to their site. Yeah, pre-order price $4,999 US. It says ship first quarter 2020. So I guess they went out this year, but it still says you can buy them. So maybe they still do. But it's a cabinet with a 43-inch LCD monitor. Like, it's a big boy. It's a big machine.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You're probably buying that for like your business, not necessarily your home, unless you have like a very large basement or something.
Yeah, and I can't fit any more arcade machines into my house.
Same here.
Dude. Oh, man. Oh, dude, have y'all ever seen those Ultracade machines that come with like 1,000 games on it? It's basically like a Raspberry Pi in one of those big machines. Mm-hmm. So my dad got one of those once, not knowing that it had 1,000 games on it. So he was just like, "Oh yeah, I got this for Pac-Man," because that was the only game that it showed on the screen. He's like, "Yeah, I bought a Pac-Man machine." I'm like, "Duff, you know this has like 1,000 games on it." He's like, "No, it's only Pac-Man. Maybe Mrs. Pac-Man." I'm like, "Duff, what are you talking about?" So I show him, and he's like, "Oh my God, I gypped that guy then. Oh my Lord." So, he bought it for super cheap. Like, he bought it for like $400, like super cheap. Because he thought it was
steal.
Yeah, he thought it was just a freaking it's in a what I would call a compressed cabinet. It's a smaller one, but he's just like, "Oh man, I owe that guy more money then." I'm like, "No, Duff, no, you do not. He gave you that for that price." So I love my dad.
My uncle has one of those Play 10 machines. I think my cousin got it from like a closing pizza parlor, and then he just like brought it home, and he hasn't like moved with it. So like it's just like it's sitting there, and I'm kind of like, hitting that where it's like, "Hey, what are you gonna do with that machine, huh?"
Hey, I'll take that off your hands for you, no problem at all.
So I got a home for it.
Dude, I love the arcade.
It's in Michigan, so that would be one hell of a journey getting that thing shipped all the way to Texas.
I mean, you could just like rent a truck and make a road trip out of it.
Oh yeah,
sounds like a short film.
There you go, perfect.
Just let me know when you're trying.
I was gonna say, Steven wants to come help.
Oh man.
Help. Giant air quotes, help.
Steven wants to make content.
Steven wants content.
The first step, Steven would have, good God. It would be like the way the journey would work for you would be like you'd have to fly. You'd probably fly to Michigan to meet me there, and then we'd rent the truck from there, and then we'd drive it all the way back.
Man, I was actually very jealous of the move that Carlos just had to move, because Carlos went from Boston to Seattle, and that is a journey, and he had to do it in the car because he had all the musical instruments coming from school, and like he had been asking like for advice online about like the best way to do that and move things, and I was telling Mal, I was like, man, if there wasn't a pandemic, I will call up Carlos and be like, I will come to Boston and ride with you across the U.S. because that sounds like so much friggin' fun.
Steven just wants to take a giant road trip.
I think that's exactly. He's got cabin fever at this point.
I think we all want to take a giant road trip, to be honest. Like
I took a road trip from LA to Myrtle Beach in 2014, and it was great. And I want to do it again, but hit up like the the Great Plains and things like that.
Are you gonna make it like that one Weird Al song, "The Biggest Ball of Twine in Minnesota"?
Oh God,
that was kind of our anthem for the first TRG trip.
I was gonna say I don't think I'll ever see that song the same way after having heard it 30 times with TRG.
And after Emil looked up where all the places were.
Yeah, Emil literally looked up like they name locations and he's like, are these real or fake? I gotta know.
I think the only one that wasn't real was like the Tupperware Museum.
One of them was fake, or it shut down, but all the other ones were real or something like that.
Yeah. The albino squirrel Mecca was real.
Yeah.
There's certain. I was gonna say there's certain highways in the U.S. when you're driving, like there's weird advertisements, like weird like weird things to stop and see.
Oh, okay. So I love the fact that you just said that. Steven, have you ever seen South of the Border?
South of the Border? I knew you were going to say that. It's like, you're a South Carolinian? Of course you're going to bring up South of the Border.
Dude, okay. So me and Erica, we drive up from basically the bottom of South Carolina in order to go to MagFest in Maryland. So we're driving up I-95 the entire way. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, from my house to South of the Border, there are around 112 advertisements for South of the Border, and they're all terrible. Like there's tons of them, and we haven't like counted going back yet. I think going back towards it, like going south, is around 71 from North Carolina in, but South Carolina going up has a frick ton, so around 200 billboards.
I have never seen as much advertising for anything in my life as I have South of the Border.
Absolutely.
The only thing that rivals that on that road is like advertisements for adult novelty shops.
That and fireworks.
Fireworks, yes.
What is South of the Border?
The three things that make the South the South.
So South of the Border is a fireworks shop that's also an adult store.
No.
Oh.
So South of the Border is, I don't really know how to explain it. There's a gigantic sombrero on the borderline from North Carolina to South Carolina, okay, on I-95. And it is like a big old stop. There's like a little arcade. There's a couple of it's like a small amusement park attraction.
It's like a truck stop tourist trap.
Yes. But
Freaks wants to see the giant sombrero.
Dude, go look it up. It's so good. But it is always, and every single time I've gone by it, day or night, completely deserted. Completely deserted. No
one has actually been to South of the Border in 25 years.
It has a wiki entry. It has a Wikipedia
Absolutely.
entry. Oh my God, I've found the sign. It is amazing. Give me a second. I'll put this up on the actual podcast here, on the recording.
And while you're doing that, the best part of it is I saw, like, me and Erica were out today. We saw a South of the Border bumper sticker on somebody's car, and I'm like, the prophecy. It's true.
So,
he's been.
To those listening to the audio podcast, you can look this up yourself. But to describe it, it's like an arch that like connects like two of the businesses together at South of the Border, and it's basically like the legs. The arch is like a pair of legs, and there's a sign that says South of the Border that's being held by the guy, and it's like this guy with like this very like this is my life now. Well, he's also got a very "this is my life now" kind of face on him, and he's wearing a giant sombrero.
There's South of the Border is from a time that is problematic, and there's probably some other things in there that are problematic.
Yeah.
But South of the Border has existed for a long time.
You know what? I'm gonna pitch this theory about it. It's like mattress stores. It's a money laundering front.
Nobody's ever bought a mattress from a mattress firm, right?
Well, actually, I have.
All right, hang on. I need to ask this question too. I just found this banner as a result. Is this a real ad for this place? You
Hold
never
on.
sausage
Yes,
a place?
You never saw such a place. You're always a wiener at freaking Pedro's, dude. Oh my god. I will let you know that it took me probably 4 road trips before I figured out what the frick that sign was trying to say to me. Because I had no idea. You never saw such a place.
You didn't figure that out?
It took me 4 trips to Mag to figure that out, John. Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah, let's also not forget that there is an ATM for First Citizens Bank there too.
All of the advertising for this place is like that. Like, it's all outlandish. Some of it's racist.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. There we go. I see a couple. I'm not going to show. It's probably one of the reasons it has not done well. Although I think also the management has let everything slip downhill too.
Money laundering front.
Oh my god.
That. I remember vaguely going there when I was very, very young, and then never again. But I'm so familiar with the signs that I feel like I've been there more, but I've never been there more than maybe once. But it's because there's 1,000 advertisements.
And then you ask your parents about it, and they're just like, Stephen, we don't talk about those times.
me and my family stopped there once. We were in an RV and we stopped there once, and we were only there for like 10 minutes because it was kind of ultra sketch, just a little bit. Look, I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody's business or anything like that, but it was just like, it was the middle of the night and there was nobody there at all except for the attendant at the gas station, because that's where we ran out of gas. Basically, we had to stop there. So it was just like, ooh, just the cautious ooh is all I can really say about that place.
Now, honestly, in retrospect, I think Tom's right. I think there's something else happening. Like, not to get into like conspiracy theory territory, but like this place, like legit, there's no way after all of these years it can still be around. I just refuse to believe it.
We bring it up as a joke, and then like somebody goes down a rabbit hole and then like comes back to us like, you're all gonna want to see this.
In fact, we should probably stop talking about it, because if this gets wind to like the south of the border people, they're gonna be like, they're on to us, and then better hope that all of your doors are locked.
Oh man, we always go full circle in this thing, don't we, man? Oh my
Apparently
god.
it's been featured in pop culture a bunch. Apparently it showed up in a movie. Apparently it showed up in Eastbound and Down. And I love.
You're talking about our freaking podcast.
Yes, I'm talking about our podcast, Jerod.
It went from that straight back to the other topic.
Time traveling podcast.
I was confused.
It's appeared in a podcast before.
So Archimedes, tell me about your work. What is this devilry? Why are these words moving? What is this English?
Should we start wrapping up?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, man. There's probably a few more restaurants I can tell you about where people got shot or stabbed or something.
I wanted to read this part from the
Save it for September.
No, I want to read this part from the South of the Border attraction description on Wikipedia, because I'm going to forget it otherwise. There are areas that bring to mind the photography of William Eagleston, the cinematography of David Lynch, and the gas station art of Ed Ruscha.
David Lynch?
Yeah, David Lynch. I don't know if that's a compliment at that point. Like, go to this place and it looks like David Lynch's work. Like, oh, okay.
I guarantee you somebody on YouTube has been there fairly recently and has like good video or something that you can see it. And I guarantee you that thing is got to be as run down now as it was 20 years ago.
You want the David Lynch experience? Go to South of the Border.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh Jesus, man.
All right, if we're gonna wrap it up, let's get to wrapping it up. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight.
What a way to end.
Oh my god! Special thanks as always to Popsky for our theme song, Prism Shard for the logo, Paper Pennies for the art for the intro, Dan for doing all the production work. This will be up on my VOD channel tomorrow for those who want to watch the video version. The audio versions will be going up a little bit sooner now that we actually have the channel set up. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on, I almost said Sparkster. We're on Spotify and Stitcher.
We're also Dan.
I just really want to play Rocket Knight Adventures. I'm sorry.
Dan also said that we're on Google Podcasts as well.
Oh, nice. We're on Google Podcasts as well. So perfect. We'll tweet all those out when we get them. Gentlemen, what are you all doing this month? I'll start with myself, I guess, since I'm talking. Back to normal schedule, so Monday, Wednesday, Saturdays in the evenings for streams. I have something special coming up. It was supposed to be this Saturday, but it got moved. So right now, something special going on the 22nd of this month, but I can't talk about it yet. But longtime fans will be interested in that for sure. What about you guys?
I talk after Tom.
I knew it.
I don't really have anything terribly special going on, but I try to stream on a regular basis, at least 4 times a week. And I do have something that is in the works, but it definitely won't be done by the next time we do the podcast. So I'm just gonna leave it at that as the teaser for it.
Okay. So the big thing that I'm working on right now is that Mao and I are streaming Breath of the Wild blind every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on our Twitch channel. And it's been a lot of fun because neither of us have played the game. And chat gets to watch us solve puzzles in ways that you shouldn't. Because that's exactly how we've been doing it. And then the other thing that I should probably mention, because it's kind of a big deal, is that on Sunday, I will finally be releasing the finale episode to my Fallout Let's Play, which got started like the day it came out in 2015, and now 270 episodes later will be done.
Wow.
Crazy.
I gotta bring it back to mind for a bit because someone in chat reminded me of something. Custom Smash will be coming back this month. That's not the thing I'm talking about.
I'm excited for Custom Smash.
Yes.
Well, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, 4:30. Drum streams. Just playing along, memeing along, just having a good time. Tomorrow, going to be doing a special birthday stream with.
Happy birthday!
Yay!
Happy birthday!
It's going to be me.
Her?
It's going to be me, Erica, Holmick, and a bunch of other friends. Actually, we're going to be getting a bunch of people to come play Uno because, my God!
Oh no! Why would you do that to yourself? Don't!
Way
No!
to
Don't!
lose
You'll be there
friendship.
forever.
I know it's going to be great. Yeah, we're just gonna have a party because it's our birthday and we wanted to stream. We wanted to do what we wanted to do. So yeah. Other than that, just normal schedule for me.
All right, cool. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We do these the first Tuesday of every month, so the next one will be the 1st of September. Look at that.
Unless support for this goes crazy, in which case we were talking about maybe upping the schedule a little bit.
Yeah,
Listen,
we'll see.
It's important that we become the top 100 comedy podcasts.
You can't. It has to be specifically 100. Don't go to 99. Don't go to 101. It's got to be exactly 100.
Oh my
You
God.
guys overshot it.
But the problem is that people are just gonna be putting 1-star reviews to try to shoot it back down.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Let's try to clear that 100 threshold because it's insane
on the Apple podcast. Yeah, it's insane that our first podcast got us all the way to 142.
Not
I don't
bad
even
for a
know what's
monthly
going on.
podcast. Yeah, anyone who supported tonight, all your support will be going to help all of us, and especially to help Dan for putting his time in towards helping, for some reason, encourage this craziness.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Dan taking the reins for the back end, this probably would not have happened. So can we get some love for Dan, both either in the comment section ? ?
In the chat, I suppose, for the live version.
Well, no, I'm talking about the podcast version as well. The chat guys know what to do. They know.
Dan, here's your chance. You can unmute yourself and say one word to the podcast. Make it count.
Hi.
Perfect.
Hey!
Incredible.
Perfect.
That's Dan.
Oh, it's
Perfect
beautiful. It's
dismount.
beautiful. I was hoping he was going to say honestly, but that works too.
Oh, he should have went with stabbing or waffle.
Oh my God.
Just the theme. That's all the SEO for this episode. Stabbing, waffle.
Well, we already know who we're never getting sponsorships from.
There's a knife in my toast.
Oh my god.
You should have said chest.
I didn't want to go that morbid.
Dan wrote down the talking points. Dan wrote down the SEO notes. I'm going to read this out, then we're going to get out of here. Talking points. Hapburf. Ratings. Surgeon login. Exorcism simulator. VR accidents. Swimmy cats. Am I dead? Apple allergy. Hash brown pusher. Breakfast stabbings. Polite sword threat. We size. The David Lynch experience. And if that doesn't want to make you listen to this episode again, I don't know what we can do for you. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks to everyone who rated and hung out and dropped bits and everything. We'll see you all next time.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Disappointed.